I created a framework for you guys on what to do every day to change your program. Okay? So, number one, you have to have a great morning routine. And you've got to get intentional about it. It's not checking a box. It is you reprogramming yourself every day in your morning. Now, in your morning routine, I recommend you auto-suggest your goal. 5 minutes. Auto-suggest it. I recommend you visualize for a couple minutes. I think another 5 minutes. But when you're visualizing, you got to discipline your senses. So you got to say, what would I see now that I have my goal? So you see that. Then you say, what would I be hearing? Look at your loved ones congratulating you. Then it's, see yourself going to a celebration dinner. Like see whatever food you love and you're tasting it, but it's connected to your goal you achieved. Feel the feeling of pride, excitement. You proved to yourself you could do it, right? And then you got to write your goal and your future truth out every day. And action the rest of the day has to be in harmony, not with where you are, but where you're going. This is how you change your program. Programming it's all repetition. Like, Anne, how do you think you learned your name? Anne, you're so beautiful. Anne, you're so sweet. Anne, right? Yet we think, I'm going to get this result, but I just did it a few times. That's not how it happens. That's not how you build a skill set into a program. That's not how you build a mindset into a program. That's not how you build leadership into a program. And so you've got to understand, if we don't think, feel, and act like the person we want to be, we're not in harmony with the new program, we're in harmony with the old program, right? I should have put on here, which I didn't, is decisions. You got to make every decision from your future. This is how I'm telling you, it's not hard, it just takes discipline, it takes trust. Because you already know the decisions, the way you guys are making decisions right now, you know what you're getting. Like, it's comfortable. Right? Even if you're not where you want to be, it's still comfortable. So you have to make decisions from your goal. Now, what I want you guys to do the rest of these 2 days, I think you guys are too serious. I need you to loosen up. I need everyone to loosen up. Okay? I need you to participate more, because that's how you're going to get the most out of this. Okay? You guys, we're all the same. Okay? I'm no different than you, but we got to get loose. When you create your best results are when you're loose. Okay? So I want everyone to loosen up and start having fun, because you're going to create much better results when you're loose. When you're uptight, you're not going to create great results. It's too rigid, right? Here's the key with what we want. We have to trust what we want is happening. It's coming into form. Everybody has wants, so if it was just the wants, everybody would have them, right? But think about the wants you guys have actually materialized, is because you've trusted it coming into form. So you've got to build that trust. Your mind is so ridiculously powerful. Like, it is connected to infinite intelligence, right? It's like our connection there. And it's always communicating with us once we trust it. That's why I said, you guys got to understand how your mind works, not intellectually. But you've got to emotionally understand, like, what am I choosing? Oh, I just chose my old self. Okay, you caught it though. Like, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. But life is a game of awareness. Like, what you guys are earning right now is what you're aware to earn. I'm just using income. You can use it with anything. But once your awareness keeps changing and growing, your results keep growing. So everything is about awareness. So it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you do. That's the knowing-doing gap. We all know a lot of things, right? Knowing is comfort. Doing is discomfort. So there's a big difference. Like, if Anne told me how much she knows, I don't care. I want to see what Anne's doing. That's what shows me how much she actually knows, right? The doing will prove to us what we know. Like with identity, I'm always looking at evidence. Like yesterday, what showed me yesterday that I improved my identity or I was operating from my future identity? And if I don't have the proof, I'm like, I didn't do it. So then I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I can't get yesterday back, but I can learn from yesterday and improve it. So that's how I change so quickly. I change quickly because I look at evidence and I'm like, oh, this is what it is. You know, I was telling you guys about that idea I had in the jacuzzi. Well, of course I improved my identity because I acted on it, right? But if I didn't act on it, I wouldn't have improved my identity. Just using that as an example, right? You guys being introverts, it's not the deal. I used to be an introvert. Like I used to be in these events and hug the walls outside in the break. So like I get it. But one day I said I can't be an introvert and win. You know, because I'm not showing, I'm like hiding myself, right? I don't want you guys, that's why you guys are too tight right now, you know? Like loosen up because you guys are all amazing and that's how you're going to do better, right? Like there's not a lot of people here and I did that purposefully, but I'm telling you, like when I started loosening up is when everything happened. Like I always tell my daughter on the tennis court, sometimes she has this, I don't tell this to her, but she has like this bitch face on the tennis court, right? And I'm like, you need to smile more. Because when you have that face, you're uptight, you know? And like you could see it, like energy never lies. So I'm like, loosen up and have fun, right? And then she does, and then she does better, right? So that's like us in the world. Like when we're too uptight, we're thinking of ourselves like too small. And that's why when we're loose, it's like, oh, I lost, no big deal, at least I went for it, right? Wouldn't you rather lose going for it than lose hiding from the world? You know, that's why I'm telling you, like as a great leader, you have to be loose. Because if you're not loose, the team's not going to be loose. If you're not making jokes, the team is always coming from a place of fear. And you can't grow your business without great leadership, right? So we want to be loose, but like some of you may not have a team, but you got to lead yourself. You got to lead yourself loose, right? And stop saying they're better than you. They're only more aware if they have better results. That doesn't mean they're better. We're all the same. We are all the same. Like if you would be with me, with my childhood friends, they see me no different because I'm the same. I've never let success get into my head, ever. Ever. I've been the same person. Like I still like sports. That's what we talk about, you know? So like we have fun together. We used to have fun since I was in 4th grade. Like a lot of my friends are 40 years. Like we've been friends for 40 years, you know? But they don't see me as some of the clients see me, you know? And because we're all the same, you know? That's why we've got to create a good relationship with success. That's why we're going to change our programs. So let me ask you guys this. What hit you the most about programming? Go ahead.
Yeah, so a question on that. So those parts of my identity are what have driven me forward. And so now I'm sitting here thinking, well, how do I become a better version of myself, leveraging those parts of my identity without giving them up, I guess.
You don't need to give that part of your identity. You need to create more balance with that identity. Okay, so you don't need to give it up. Like, for me, I've been a superstar for the last 19 years in what I do. Like, in 19 years. But it's not my driving force. My driving force is getting better. I don't need to be the star. Like, I really don't. What I want to do is keep getting better for my own personal initiative. You know, if you just focus on getting better and just chasing your greatness, then you're going to keep shifting your program over and over again. Because if you just operate from the physical side of you, it's going to take you 10 years to what you could do in 6 to 12 months. I promise you that. So it's letting go. You got to do more letting go. My guess is you're a control freak. Yeah. So, you know, we're all control freaks in different areas, right? But there's some people who are just control freaks in everything. So the control freaks can never leverage. And if you can't leverage, you're going to 1 to 2x. You're going to 1 to 2x what you're doing. So that's what you have to look at. And some of you are probably working on way too many ideas. You know, Garrett gave me like 10 ideas one day on the phone. I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, there's no way you can implement that. There's no way. You know? And I'll tell you, Jason, like, I'm my worst enemy. You know, so like I have to have filters with my ideas now. You know, because the danger of it is you don't finish what you start. You know? So you don't let the ideas. So for me, I know that about me. So now I just keep adding new and new people to my company to go implement that, you know? Because there's only so many hours in a day. So I get hundreds of ideas a week. A week I get hundreds of ideas. It's just because I'm so open. Like the reason I can help people transform so well is because I don't look at them with any limitations. They look at them with limitations, but I don't. So I hold the image of who they can be, and that's what great leaders do. They hold the image not of who the people are, of who they can be. And that's what happens, but leadership is crucial. But you can't be a great leader until you change your programming. And most people don't put the work in to change their programming, and they grind all day long, and then they get frustrated. Well, why isn't it happening, right? Why isn't it happening? Like I have this client, Jason, who is very good at what she does, okay? Horrible communicator, horrible. And then she calls me to rescue her when she screws up in her communication with her clients. And I'm like, if you were my client, I would never hire you. That's what I told her. Because you never want to do a bait and switch with anybody. You know, you say something, let me give you an example. If I was charging Ann, I said, Ann, this is my price. I tell her, then I come back with an invoice that's double, triple what I said. That's not right, right? And I said, until you improve the communication, you're going to cost yourself your brand, you're going to cost yourself trust, you're going to cost yourself literally $50 million. And until you change this, it's not going to happen. But what happens, her program is in scarcity. It's in scarcity. So when we communicate, we want to communicate where there's no gray area. So when we communicate without gray area, there's no confusion, right? That's like if I told you guys we're going to do the Wealth Accelerator, and it's going to be, what's the name of this hotel? It's going to be at the Canby, and I'm in Scottsdale. You know, I'm like, where is everybody? Right? But that's how some people are communicating in their business. You know, that's why and part of your program is, and this is for you, Cheryl, I don't have to work so many hours. I have to make my hours count. And the better you get at your programming, the faster your awareness is going to grow. Then you're going to, as your awareness grows, it's going to be easier to get your team's awareness to grow, because why? They're watching you. They're watching everything you're doing, right? So I want you guys to really prioritize your programming. Like, if you will, you're going to change yourself so fast. And as you change yourself, you're going to change other people. Go ahead.
My question was about philosophy creating standard. And so I realized I needed to much better understand the standards. And so my question, well, it's really more, but if you could expand a little bit more on philosophy and how, you know, that process of then creating a standard.
So philosophy sets the direction we're going. Okay, and philosophy is our automatic operating system. Like everyone in this room has a philosophy. Like you have a philosophy of how you get ready. That's a philosophy. You have a philosophy of how you currently make decisions, even though it might be outdated, right? So everything is a philosophy first. So what if your philosophy was, everything I touch turns into gold? Like you've been around me long enough, my philosophy is everything you do right away. Another philosophy is I don't give a shit what other people think. Another philosophy is the more I'm willing to lose, the more I'm going to win. Those are examples of philosophy. And then what happens, as you practice them, they turn into standards. Okay, so the philosophy always creates the standard. The standard then creates the story. The story creates the identity, and the identity creates the result. They're all very well connected. But if you're trying to change an identity without changing a philosophy, good luck. And if you're trying to change an identity by letting your feelings drive your standards, good luck. It's not going to happen. You know, why are people not acting on ideas? Because they're scared. Why are they scared? Because they don't have a good identity, right? That's why. That's why. So it's like you got to do it right away. I remember when our kids were really young. Anytime they were scared of something, my wife and I forced them to do it. They forced them to do it, because we didn't want to train them to be fearful. And now it's served us really well. Years later. At the time, it sucked. They're crying, everyone's judging us. We'd be in line and, we were at this amusement park and my daughter was crying. And the guy goes, she's fine. She's fine. And she's crying and they go to her, do you want to get out, honey? And I'm like, she's not getting out, just hit go. And then, we were getting judged, like you could imagine, right? But then we get off, she goes, let's go on it again. That's the thing with fear. If we just stop overthinking and start doing it, it's not a big deal. That's part of the philosophy, though.
You mentioned before, standards decide and feelings follow. And that's really resonated with me over the last month or so.
Yeah.
Because it's so obvious when it's backwards, it doesn't work.
A lot of your feelings are bullshit. A lot of them, right? That's why our mindset has to be greater than our emotions. And that's why people are talking them out of idea after idea after idea and they're broke. It's not because they're not capable, it's because they won't put in the work. If somebody's not going to put in the work day in and day out, they're not going to win. That's the deal. And the work is not that hard. The work is easy once you start making it a habit, right? That's why the best thing I could tell you is if you guys start getting obsessed about getting better, if that's the only thing I can get you obsessed about, and let evidence show you you're getting better, not effort. Because your brain, every time you do something with repetition, it's like, oh, there's a better way. There's a faster way to do it. There's a faster way. And that's how you're going to change it. But I wouldn't work on all those standards. So I'd look at your current program, and then I would look at, out of those standards you have, what is the one that's going to create the greatest lift? And you focus on that. And then you follow the framework I've given you. Hey, it's Arash, and I've got something for those of you who've been asking, Arash, how can you coach me? How can I work with you? How can I get closer to what you're doing? Whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or just someone hungry, I want to help you. And here's how. There's a link below this video. I want you to click it right now. All I'm asking for is your name, your phone number, and one question. What do you really want? How do you really want to live? That's it. Fill it out, and you're giving me permission to personally reach out to you. When you do, I'm going to connect with you and create a game plan. Now listen, if you've been watching my content and you're ready for a breakthrough, or you're already winning big and you're just obsessed with getting better, going even further, I'm the coach. We're in a new era. And when you click that link, you're saying, Arash, I'm giving you permission to stretch me, to push me, to bring me upwards. And I promise you, if you're ready, this will change your life. So stop waiting, click the link, fill out the form, do it right now, and I'll be in touch.